Hi everyone, my name is Buddy Smith. Today I would like to take the opportunity to introduce you to Linux. I'm assuming you are all coming from the Windows environment, so a little background about Linux. Linux was created by Linus Torvalds in the early 1990s while he was a graduate student at the University of Helsinki. He released the code to his fellow internet savants around the world to tweak and alter however their little hearts desired, and so it was released in a form which they call open source. Now, open source may be a little intimidating to some people. Open source is basically code that is altered by users around the world. Not a corporation such as Microsoft, which has a huge product development department where they pay a lot of people a lot of money to do that. This is done entirely free. People who do it out of the goodness of their own heart or for whatever reason they may have. Now, many of us think you get what you pay for. We've all heard that our entire lives. But it really doesn't hold true when it comes to Linux. Linux has so many benefits over a corporate release. When a Linux update is released, it's supplied to the user immediately. It doesn't have to go through a product development cycle or a board. It's just released. Now that's a huge time saver if you have a problem in your system. Take, for example, Windows Vista. Windows Vista was released after XP, and that was released 3 years after XP was released, and it was basically heralded as the largest screw up of Microsoft ever. It was unusable. It was constantly having trouble. So Microsoft users had to wait till Windows 7 was released to upgrade, and that took an additional 2 years. So you're looking at a 5-year time cycle to upgrade. I mean, that is just so awful. Terrible. Another benefit of using Linux would be security. Linux is built with a security system right into the kernel. It's not added as an afterthought, per se. When you have Windows, you have to download a firewall, you have to set up a firewall, you have to maintain a firewall. With Linux, there's a firewall built right into the kernel. It's so much more secure, per se, than Windows. Now, a lot of people are intimidated by the command line of Linux. And because we're so used to using a graphical interface on Microsoft. Now, at one time, to use Linux, you had to use a command line. There was no other way around it. But now, most large distributors, they release a GUI-based operating system for users, from the Novus users to the Power users. And you can do everything you need to do. You don't ever have to touch a command line. Now, if you want to touch a command line, you can do it and save yourself a lot of time, and it's a lot easier. Now, you can also just try Linux if you'd like with a USB stick. You can download it from a distrowatch.com and use netboot. Just a simple Google search will give you the download. And you can try it on your computer. It's really simple. It won't affect your system whatsoever. It'll run directly off your USB stick. So I suggest everyone give it a try. It can't hurt. So best of luck.